Hi guys, I hope everybody is doing good and everybody's preparation is going well. Everybody who are the students of our subscription model, I hope you guys are also doing well and you're enjoying classes on the Sreshta app or through whatever mode you're watching with Sreshta. I'm glad that you connected with us on this platform. So what I'm going to bring you through this video is the RTP discussion that we have for the exam. RTPs are some kind of an important source to discuss before the exams, because by now, if you're through with your preparation, this video is going to help you understand where do you stand and what you do. It's going to span between anywhere between a half an hour, 35-minute story. So if you can spend that and try and understand, it gives you a perspective of where you stand. So those of you who are students of subscription model who are still watching the classes, you can finish your classes safely. This video is not going to run away anywhere. You can comfortably watch it. It will be there. And also for all those people who are relatively new to this, we are going to share the links of the playlist that I have made for Eis And Sm revision. I haven't done a single marathon video for that, because doing a single marathon video for 8 chapters continuously on SM or 5 chapters continuously on EIS would not be a very fruitful idea. So we have done 3 videos for SM and 5 videos for EIS, and they have been uploaded on my channel, and the respective links are made available here, so that all of you who are willing to watch revision videos can definitely use the link that is given in the description and make the most of it. So if many of you have already used those revision videos and all that, I'm glad that you could find them and use them. And for those who are first timers who are using that, I think you should go for those revisions and they will be very useful. So without much of a delay, I would start off with today's video, where we are going to talk about the RTPs for EIS and SM. So let us go ahead with the EIS RTP part first, and then we'll come on to SM. So if you see the RTP this time, it's very simple, but sometimes there is a chance that questions directly come from the RTP. So we will not leave anything and we will just go about doing everything that is there here, so that if something directly comes, we will be having the first time thing. And they haven't given much of a multiple choice. They have given only one case study here, and I would want to once again take this opportunity to tell that you don't need any special kind of preparations for this kind of a case study as such. Now first, I want you to understand, you might want to read the case. The RTP is available, so you can run through the whole case. Now what I am actually looking at is what sort of questions are being asked. See, you have to basically try and understand what this company is doing, and then they're asking you questions. Look at the options: tolerate, terminate, transfer. So basically these are all questions from various chapters that are being asked. So a little bit of insight on what exactly this case study is. Basically there is a entity by name RS Limited, one of the leading companies in the field of spices, and to develop infrastructure and procure necessary processing equipment in order to cross-sell their activities. There is again a word here. I hope all of you remember upselling and cross-selling as two techniques. So they want to do something like that, their cross-sell activities. So maybe there might be a question on that. And they want to analyze about customers behavior, for which they are willing to use data analytics. So you can see the blend of concepts from various topics. First they're talking about they're doing in the field of a particular business, then they're selling, they will do cross-selling activities, then they're talking about data analytics, and obviously they would possibly even talk about using an ERP or a core banking system, or they might want to go for in taking a help of an aggregator. They have basically included, this is what a multi chapter case study looks like, right? So they selected a supplier XY Limited and obtained the requisite equipment from it, so it increases the production. At the same time, XY Limited had offered a discount of 2% to its customers if cash payment was made within 7 days. However, RS Limited made a payment of 5 lakh using RTGS, the real-time gross settlement. Can you do 5 lakhs? The answer is yes, because RTGS is applicable to every transaction about 2 lakhs. Now these are kind of minute details that you have to note. Maybe a question might be asked like that. So they did 5 lakhs. Is it eligible to be a RTGS transaction? They can always ask you that. Okay. Then they installed this new machine that they procured in various operational units and to operate them. The workforce was strengthened. Furthermore, the company decided to expand business ventures through online mode by collaborating with various renowned e-commerce websites where it can offer products to customers under various discount schemes. That's what every e-commerce nowadays is doing. These websites would also display the electronic catalog, that is the display of all the products that RS Limited is selling. In return, RS Limited shall pay these websites suitable commission charges from the sales revenue generated through these websites. So that is the story of RS Limited and what they do. And also to understand the business expansion that happened here, the management of RS Limited notices to bring out the following changes to their existing automated setup. They want the existing organization security policy may be more robust. It's good, but they want to make it more robust. And business continuity plans shall be formulated. To mitigate the risk of unauthorized entries in the working environment, RS Limited switch its manual attendance to biometric. So this is a process of converting manual into electronic. You guys know this. And to enhance the physical security, like deployment of security guards, installation of CCTV cameras and all that, which are all physical access control. So basically RS Limited is up to something. What are they up to and what those questions would be? Mind you, sometimes like each question can carry 2 marks, and 5 into 2 10 would be pretty easy if you exactly know what you're doing, right? So let us just talk about that part once here, where we are talking about what are the questions. So based on the above case that I read for you right now, the first question that's coming up is, the company RS Limited decides to buy new equipment for its latest business. Which risk management strategy is exercised by the management if they decided to buy a new machine from XY Limited? Tolerate the risk, terminate the risk, transfer the risk, and treat the risk. So you know that when you are buying a particular machine, that all the other risks that are not associated with that machine basically are being eliminated. So bringing a specific kind of machinery to eliminate something, so the answer would be terminating the risk. And then here, which type of core banking? So they did RTGS payment of 5 lakhs, right? So which type of payment is that? Is it a remittance, collection, clearing, or granting advances? Look at this. If only you get questions like this in the exam, be thankful. It's such a simple one. And then for new business spices, RS decided to collaborate with a renowned e-commerce website for selling its products through online mode. Which of the following term related to e-marketing fits best in this case? Now they partnered up with an e-commerce which does so many things. They are also now going to sell for us will be a e-mall, right? Multiple things being sold on a platform would be e-mall. And then this one is a straight question out of the book. They use various data analytics to predict customer behavior. This is a straight question out of the ICI module. Which advanced data analytic tool you have been using? This is called predictive analysis. And restricting unauthorized action in a company by changing employee attendance from manual to biometric, which you read in the case that they did, right? So when they did manual to biometric, it gives a volume of information to us saying that they don't want to take that interest easy. They want to be very sharp on it. So which control they have applied here for biometric authentication? Biometric authentication is a boundary control. No two thoughts about that. So anyway, I just hope and pray really you guys get a question like this. These 5 questions were no-brainers. They are not even coming close to the category of being called tricky or difficult or anything like that. The straight question. So if you have proper knowledge of each topic, you'll be able to get good marks out of this. And mind you, like I'm saying, this can get you 5 into 2 10 marks straight and sweet. Okay, then let's just move on to the question answer part. Now here I'm not saying that these questions will directly come in exam, but 2 questions from every chapter just to give you an insight on what they are. I think first one is about risks again, which is about the same 4 words which are the options in the first MCQ. Risks are always not countered by implementing controls. Based on the type of risk and significance, certain risk management strategies can be used. What are those? They're asking. Tolerate, terminate, the 4 T's. You can write about that. This is a straight and simple question. And of course, the best thing about RTP is answers are given below. So you guys, as you are going through, try to do it after you finish your syllabus so that you don't have to just simply go to the answers page and read that. You might want to do something about it, right? And then as technology is taking new forms, we want you to discuss a set of IT related risks that change. So this is a long 12-point answer. Changes in technology, from ranging that to all of those, right? Obsolescence, or there are 12 points. This is a straight question from the first chapter. You can go with that. Then I have been warning that this particular question is a exam question so many times, but people take it lightly. When you come to ERP, under audit of ERP, right, there are 2 points. Okay, audit of safety of data, and then this one, the to audit of processes is very important, but many people neglect that. So that's the question that you see in RTP. Maybe if it comes in the exam, be very easy. So segregating audit into 2 parts: audit of data and audit of process. In terms of audit of data, we talk about when you talk data, it's about safety. So we're talking about physical safety and logical safety. And when we talk about audit of processes, we talk about input validations and stuff like that. So it's a straight out of the question book. And then ERP, environment of an organization, consists of many modules. Okay, very good. We know that we in our syllabus have about 11 modules. So these processes have either a direct or indirect effect. They have what? A direct or an indirect effect on financial status of the organization, out of which controlling module, I think you know that it is not going to do any task or activity in the controlling module, but most of that module is elemented to cost and receipts, right? So I mean, in the sense, cost and revenue, what you get in. Discuss its key features. I think you can do that. Straight points are given, so not at all an issue. Third chapter, 2 questions that they have been discussed here are about, one is effective telecommunication network. Okay, gives an organization the capability to move rapidly among various employees and suppliers to cooperate. Okay, discuss the types of computer network and benefit. This is again a straight question from the third chapter in terms of networks: connection oriented and connection less. Right, this part, connection oriented and connection less. And what is benefits? I hope all of you remember that part where we spoke about the distance not being a big deal anymore. You can communicate either ways. The change in business, restructuring of the relationships. So I think this one again is not at all a problem in terms of the depth that third chapter has. What is the next question? Data resource management controls, the new addition. This one in terms of content, because though there were data resource management controls, a little bit of change here and there, talking about backup, updation and all of that. So one of those controls can definitely be asked. Now I've told you to be ready with that. If you are taking a chance, it's up to you, but you have to be ready with that. And then the questions that are being asked from e-commerce are: it has been observed that most of the organizations, computer nodes in the network remain underutilized, leading to a lot of wastage. Okay, so identify the computing technology that may address this issue and further discuss its benefits. Now, what sort of a computing technology may address the issue of computer nodes in the network remain underutilized? There is a lot of time waste because of this. So what sort of a remedy you can give may address this issue and further discuss its benefits? After reading that question, you have to slightly understand and decode a bit here. Computer nodes in their network basically are endpoints. Are lot of resources remain underutilized. Do you remember grid computing? So identify the computing technology. This one right here is grid computing, and one of the points in grid computing talks about using underutilized resources. So that part is being discussed here. Identify the technology that may address this issue and further discuss the benefits. So what is grid computing and what are its benefits? Resource balancing, parallel CPU capacity, right? You can give all of that details about grid computing here. And in any business environment, all the e-commerce and m-commerce transaction have various risks associated with them. It's a straight question. Risks that prevail in e-commerce business, you can go to the fourth chapter and find it, no big deal, or you can go slightly down in the article, find that. What are they asking questions in core banking? Technology components of core banking allow banks to deploy, means to put in use, state-of-art and innovative banking services as per under the cyber security framework of RBI. Highlight the key measures that are required to implement. though that is a little big question there, but it's in terms of content, if you can see that, that's a straight question out of the book. A list of points are there which I'll show you. And then credit card, I've been telling this current account, savings account, credit card, okay, mortgage, from those 6 areas, okay, from those 6 areas of process wise discussion. One question here, now they're asking credit card. Maybe in the main exam they might ask you about credit card only, again who knows, or they might ask you what are the risk and control with respect to current account, savings account, trade finance, mortgage. They can ask you any of these things, so you can be ready. I think it's a fairly very simple RTP for the EIS. You might always want to run through the answers and try and understand them properly. Then now we'll look at part B of the story, which is about strategic management. So in this, let's start the case study as usual. So in July 2014, Fresh Hair Hospitality and Resorts, they launched a major project called Fit in Future. So this is a situation that they are explaining about what is going on. After being in losses for 3 consecutive years, so that's a noteworthy point here. After being in losses for 3 consecutive years, they have now resurrected. According to the analysis by senior management, many customers were not returning and repeat sales were not happening. So that is a case of, non-retention of customer. Now that is not something that we see unusually. Many places when management is not proper, non-retention of customer is the consequence. Let's continue seeing what those. So these costs were also high and a lot of wastage in kitchen. So that's, I think a hotel is not supposed to be run like that. If losses were allowed to continue, the survival of the organization is doubtful. So basically this paragraph gives you an insight that, this case study is going to be something about a turnaround strategy, or continuously if they are getting losses, they might talk about going concern issues. Fit in Future project was an organization-wide employee-driven initiative that focused in reversing the trend. I think the word is straight out of a turnaround strategy, reversing the trend there. To find out how organizations can survive, focus was to be provided on high-quality services while finding new ways of delivery to improve customer satisfaction and to reduce cost. The idea was to create a conducive, that is a very helpful, easygoing organizational culture and work climate. At the same time, Shailaja Mehta joined organization as a resident manager. She brought with her considerable experience in moving quality in restaurant, banquet sale and all that. So that's talking about her expertise. She immediately set about spending 2 months talking to the staff on the front lines, that is talking to the operational level people. And then of course some of the staff members expressed frustration that their suggestions from long time, this is what happens when you don't listen to your staff. I think through classes I have explained you this when we discussed the HR strategy, that if the HR is not considered while active decision making is going on, that could obviously create problems. Some of the staff members expressed frustration that their suggestions on improving the services were not often heard of. They were demotivated. Over time, she offered them enthusiasm and inspired staff that gives a vibe of a transformational leadership style. Okay. And the reason specifically for doing these kind of RTP sessions is not to just read out what is there over there. See, while reading in the exam, while reading like this, you should be able to make out. Now you will be like, sir, you are into teaching, so you are knowing the syllabus, so you are able to make out. I think if your preparation is good, you know what lines are meant for what sense. So this line, she offered enthusiasm and she has inspired the staff, is a clear line of understanding of a transformational leadership style. So when you are able to pick up these things and be ready, when they ask questions, you will be able to do it like this. That is what we need. As an outcome of the project, it was decided that both internal as well as external interactions, customers will be called guests and treated accordingly. There was a general agreement that reducing wastages, now that's a very important aspect because that has been done here. So reducing wastages and improving the quality of service shall be the chief priority from top to bottom. It was then decided the team leaders shall always work together with the frontline staff. So in line with taking their suggestions into consideration and all of that. Okay. So accordingly, a new system was put in place from Jan 2015. As a result of the effort, satisfaction level of the guest was improved. and their loyalty reflected in the form of increased repeat sales over the next 2 years. Amazing. After 2 years, when the organization was able to make some sort of profits, which was still low considering the capital employed. All of your financial management students, you know what is written on capital employed. In 2018, Shailaja Mehta again suggested to make extensive study on radically redesigning, which indicates that they are talking something about BPR. So maybe you can expect question on BPR as well. So these are all the points that you might want to concentrate on. So basically they gave a case that was built upon whatever it is. So now is the time for us to go ahead and try and figure out what exactly the questions are, and based on the above case scenario, multiple choice question, fit in future project can be best related to what? Is it about improving leadership? Okay, we did see that. Improving morale, coordination, or it is about turnaround. Now I have an interesting point to make here. See, though this is about leadership aspects and all that, the primary context, many people would think A is the answer here. It's a very well built question. But the ideal answer for this is D, which is about doing a turnaround, because the question, the best related to which strategy, it's turning around things. So it will be a turnaround strategy. And how about the thing here? Name the strategic tool to set measures, set goals for wastage in the kitchen. I think as of now, the moment you see this word best business practices, you will be able to figure out the answer is none other than benchmarking. So like that, if you would have concentrated in the class properly, these things would definitely not a problem. And as I guessed, so, and I'll be honest with you, I am doing this entire case study for the first time. It's not like I've done this before and then I'm doing it. And unfortunately, I don't have so much time to, go through, check and all that. So I expected definitely a question on leadership because it was well built. I think you can see the suggestions made in 2018 was about BPR. Again, I'm being very, very honest. I haven't even read the questions. This is the first time I'm reading. So if in the case study they have mentioned something, they're definitely going to ask questions on this. So I think 3 and 4, the answers are very simple. Shailaja Mehta, as discussed, is she provided enthusiasm, so it's a transformational leadership style, and she did speak about turning around things in a big way, so which is about BPR, and I have already explained those. See, this is exactly what happens when your fundamentals and concepts are very good. The moment you see, you'll be able to gaze out. And to succeed, Fresh Air Hospitality and Resort needs to deliver better value to customers, improve efficiencies, fix minimum profit percentage over cost. To succeed, as of now, fixing a minimum percentage over cost is about providing a decent margin over cost. That is fine. But I think as of now, basically for the time being, they are even getting into profit. So I don't think their idea of doing anything would be great unless they do 1 and 2. So the answer would be A for this one. That's the end of the case study questions. In this, we have some individual. Yes, we didn't have individual questions here. We do have. Which of the structure is more radical organizational design, called as a non-structure? I think you know that network structure is called non-structure because we don't have a diagram for network structure. It's a cobweb, right? It's a straight out of the book question. Smooth Ride and Comfort Ride are two car engine component manufacturers manufacturing identical auto parts. Okay, both units are almost identical in every aspect. It seems fair enough, no problem. As a strategic manager of Comfort Ride, which process would you suggest to the management so that it has an edge over this? All right. So I think this one is a class. Let's read the options also carefully, then we'll be able to figure out what it is. They are same in every aspect, then obviously public will not come across and find a difference. So what's the next best thing that you're supposed to do? I think one of the points that you can see in question number 3 is going by the options: management business process, strategic business process, and management re-engineering process. You would never come across those words. So ideally the answer should be C. Because only BPR is part of our syllabus. So sometimes in the exam, if they are giving you questions like this, you would get lucky, and you will, because the last time, irrespective of how the paper was, even students who scored very bad marks in answers, they did very well with the MCQs because of their fundamentals being good. So if you can really focus on that, I think that should be a great thing to work on. Which approach to R&D to implement strategic decision is a glamorous and exciting strategy? I think you know this, like these are the words straight out of the book. They have picked glamorous and exciting strategy and how they are. So R&D approach, market new technology, innovative imitator to be low cost provider. These are three R&D approaches. But which one is a glamorous and exciting strategy? You being the pioneer. But we did know the downside also, right? If you fail, it could turn out to be serious. So 4, the answer is supposedly A. And then we will now go to question number 5. In question number 5, we figure out it's more like what I see. I think it's a question which is on how they're making profit. So Jaipur Mart, an online market space where people from all over Rajasthan come and sell their goods. Zero commission, takes a listing, but 1% of the sales per month. Okay, this is like how this particular entity makes money. And obviously, business idea and business intent are not things that we studied. Business definition and business model are the only two definitions that we studied, right, in the syllabus. So either it has to be C or D. But business definition talks about what business they do. Here they are talking about they're taking 1% of the sales. So it's a straight point that they're telling that how do they make money. So that exactly will be called as the business model. Okay. And let's talk about the last question. I think concentric conglomerate has come in. So Honey brand started a new brand of making honey ginger candies to meet the rising demand. You are a honey manufacturer, now you're going with honey ginger candies. Okay, so obviously this is not conglomerate. Honey and honey ginger are related. Now the question is, how are they related? Definitely not conglomerate and definitely not vertical, because you're not going up or down to create your own supply, right? From honey you're making honey ginger candies, and honey ginger candies are a completely different product when it comes to honey and candies. So there is a connection between both these, but in a loop like manner. I think with that you will be able to understand that the answer should be what? Concentric diversification, because this is not any byproduct or anything like that. No, so this is a classic product that is basically made out of whatever is the honey that they're building. So in a loop like manner this is there. So I think loop like manner. So that's all. Questions are very, very simple. I don't know if they will be as simple as this in the exam, which generally are, because every time people are telling that they are scoring well, and they are all actually also scoring well. It's not like they are not. Okay, so that's what we have in these questions in strategic management. Let's now see a descriptive part. Okay, this I believe is a straight question, but they're giving some story in the first 2 lines. Each organization must build its own competitive advantage, keeping in mind the business warfare. How do you do this? Explain the major benefits. So these are the 7 points that we have to write as in terms of what are the importance of strategic management. Easy question. Discuss the challenges faced by public sector units while designing their organizations. This is a question in the last paragraph of the first chapter, which talks about how public sector unit, they are not given the autonomy, freedom to do that, but public sector entities are also interested in doing strategic management techniques. So I think you know that. That's the last paragraph, the first one. So 2 questions, straight and clean, simple. Distinguish between market development and product development in ants of matrix. I think all of you know market development is entering new markets, correct? While product development is about entering new products. So if you're launching new products into existing markets, new markets you are entering with existing products. That's what is the equation, and I'm just writing that. There's, you know, the logic there. So if you can clearly able to distinguish and tell what is needed where, they'll be done. Woodworld Limited is a company that manufactures a variety of furniture items. Okay, cool. They offer traditional designs, low cost furniture items and all of that. During the last couple of years, the company has been observing a fall in the market share. This is due to the change in taste and preferences and designing better quality, increasing purchasing power. The customers are switching away to traditional designs and material have been the backbone of Woodworld. As CEO of Woodworld, what strategic options are available with you? Now, They're asking you as to what best you can do for Woodworld as a CEO. Now, if you're a CEO means a corporate level person, what best could you do? So, since you're a corporate level manager, you can talk about investing into that particular product. Maybe trying, since they talked about taste and preferences, you might want to focus on taste and preferences, or maybe I think we should just scroll down and see how the answer is worded up. But I think you should go about putting some money into that and then understanding the taste and preferences. So, right, when we scroll down, I will just show you the answer for 10 what is given. Otherwise, what are the components of a good mission statement and key areas strategic planner should concentrate while building for desired result? These two are straight questions, so no much. Right, short note on M&A. Okay, let's talk about 14 again. These kind of questions are a little interesting, rather than those straight questions. Airlines industry in India is highly competitive with several players. Okay, we know that. Luxury Jet is a private Delhi-based company with a fleet size of 9 aircrafts they have with seating capacity ranging between 6 and 9. So basically they are, these guys who are doing chartered flight stuff. So like these movie actors, sports stars and all hire these flights and go for travel, right? So these guys are having a fleet of 9 with 6 to 9 seats. These aircrafts are chartered by big business houses and high net worth individuals for their personalized use. With customized tourism packages, these aircrafts are often hired by even foreigners. Identify and explain Michael Porter's generic strategy followed by luxury jet. Now, wait a second. If they're talking about corporate level strategies, why are they asking you about Michael Porter's generic strategy in that question? Because Michael Porter's generic strategies are discussed in the 5th chapter. Okay, maybe that's a little mess up there because that question belongs obviously to the 5th chapter, and you can see that it is a very focused differentiation, right? So it's for a key group of people only, and in that also, so basically it's not a chapter 4 question that I want to tell you, and then we will obviously go ahead and see the answer for 10 and 14, and then we'll come back. Okay, I want just scroll down, see the answer for 10. So as a CEO of Woodworld, you can invest in the new product, acquire, as I just told you, find any other areas for expansion, and in the long run you should divest. So this is basically about a kind of a strategy which you should be doing because you are in a decline stage, and rest of the points are quite normal here. I don't think you have a problem. And okay, yeah, so they're talking about a focus differentiation as I told you. So it is clear what I told you is right, but that is not a question from the 4th chapter. It's a question from the 5th chapter. Okay, so that I want you guys to go through that. Otherwise, in the 5th chapter, they're asking about Michael Porter's 5 forces and low cost leadership strategy. So, talking about entry barriers. All right. So, you are advised to put forth your suggestions to the management of the company to deal with the entry barrier while launching a low cost. So, if you want to enter, how do you do that? What are normally the entry barriers and how do you break it is something that we have to see. Projected financial statement analysis this is point number 2 in the finance strategy. They didn't ask evaluation of worth of business, or they didn't give that, but point number 2 is about budgets and projected financial statements. Modern marketing is highly promotional oriented. Major promotional methods, you can talk about the promotional methods that are discussed under marketing. You can, let's just see what answers they did give here. Projected finance, it's a personal selling, advertising, publicity and sales promotion, 4 of those as we know it. And then they are also talking about culture, network structure. So what's the last set of questions? Talking about audit of management performance in terms of Zumba. This is more of a strategic audit paragraph, and the last one is about a question on strategic control. But I guess I want you to prepare well with all the important stuff. Right, so going through the RTP, this looks a fairly simple RTP. If questions are directly coming from this, you just have to be blessed. And as I told you in the beginning, please use the playlists that are available for revision. There's solid amount of time still left for your exam. So if you haven't started anything till now also, take the help of revision videos and start off somewhere. Do the RTP, write at least one mock test sitting back home. That should be great help, and evaluate and assess for yourself where you stand. And even if you are not able to solve some questions or not able to answer some of the questions correctly, there's no need that you get dejected and all that. There is an important learning that emerges from all of this. So focus on all that, and really, if you have watched it from the beginning till now, that is both Eis and Sm, kudos to that, because many people don't even do that. And if you have watched the whole video, I appreciate that. And on that note, I will wish you good luck for your continuing preparation. Please put your efforts constantly and consistently, which is what is one of the important things in the course. I will see you in my next videos with some great information. Thank you guys.